Welcome to the podcast. Today we're diving deep into this fascinating piece about the Mandaeans. You know, the group that sees John the Baptist as more than just a forerunner.
Oh, absolutely. It's intriguing. Almost like a secret chapter of religious history that's been hidden in plain sight, right?
Exactly. They consider John the Baptist the central figure, the true prophet. It's like um, his legacy never died, but rather transformed into an entire living
Mm-hmm.
religious tradition.
So, we're looking at a group that almost flips the whole script on what we learned in school about John, huh?
Yeah, um, instead of being just that, you know, the voice in the wilderness, they're saying John was the main act. They even have their own scriptures and rituals, baptisms that, get this, happen
Right.
repeatedly over your lifetime. It's like baptism isn't just a one-time event, it's a constant renewal.
That's really wild. How do these folks trace their origins?
Well, their exact origins are pretty mysterious. Their texts, like the Haran Gawaita, claim they fled Jerusalem before it was destroyed in 70 CE and then headed east, landing in Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
Scholars
indeed.
suggest they might even represent a blend of ancient Gnosticism with Mesopotamian spiritual traditions.
So, what you're saying is these Mandaeans could be actual heirs of John's earliest disciples, maybe even carrying on a direct strand of his teachings?
Exactly. That's one major theory. Some experts, like Rudolph and Edmondo Lupieri, point out that their tradition preserves ancient Gnostic ideas, interweaving Jewish apocalyptic traditions with
Interesting.
Mesopotamian influences. And then there's another view, like the one from Jorunn Buckley, which sees them as direct heirs of his original followers.
It really gives a whole new perspective on early first century religious dynamics, doesn't it? I mean, imagine two parallel paths, one leading to what became mainstream Christianity, and another where John the Baptist is the hero.
Right? It's almost like a religious fork in the road. According to the Mandaeans, while Christianity casts John as merely the harbinger to Jesus, they see him as the ultimate revealer of truth. Jesus, in their view,
Yeah,
sort of
definitely.
diluted the purity of John's message.
Hold on. So they actually reject Jesus as a false Messiah? That's a pretty dramatic reversal of what many believe.
Yep, they do. In their scriptures, especially in texts like the Book of John, he's depicted as, the luminous teacher. John brings the essential light and wisdom, while Jesus is portrayed as someone who deviated from that pristine path. It's a bold counter-narrative,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least.
Wow, that's intense. And speaking of intensity, what can you tell me about their practices? I heard baptism is not just a one-off event for them.
Exactly. For the Mandaeans, baptism, what they call masbuta, is a lifelong ritual. It's repeated multiple times to cleanse the soul and reconnect it to the world of light. It's, like each baptism is a reset button for the spirit.
That reminds me kind of personal renewal routines like hitting refresh on your life constantly.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff, really.
And it doesn't stop there. Their worldview is super dualistic. They see the universe as split between the world of light and the world of darkness. The material, and even the body sometimes, is seen as a trap for the soul, so the rituals are uh, designed to free you
Right.
from that entrapment.
So, it's a deeply symbolic practice, almost like a constant spiritual detox, always reminding you of where your true essence lies.
Exactly. And a big part of that is their very structured priesthood. They have an ancient hierarchy of priests who guard their rituals and sacred knowledge, ensuring that the faith remains pure and the teachings intact.
Got it. I find that super interesting, especially when you consider how tightly controlled religious practices can be in preserving traditions. But, how do their sacred texts fit into all this?
Great question. Their sacred literature includes texts like the Ginza Rabba, the so-called Great Treasure, alongside the Book of John and liturgical manuals. These documents are written in Mandaic, a dialect of Aramaic. They really offer an alternative
Yeah.
mythos and cosmology to what's seen in mainstream scriptures.
So, these texts essentially serve as the backbone of their religious identity, offering a glimpse into not only their rituals, but also how they envision the cosmos and the battle between darkness and light.
Spot on. It's like they've preserved a living treasure of ideas that challenge what we consider, standard religious narratives.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about survival. It seems like these Mandaeans have managed to hold on to their identity through centuries of so much upheaval.
Oh, definitely. While many earlier sects like the Ebionites or Valentinians were systematically wiped out, the Mandaeans survived, largely by isolating themselves in regions far from the centers of power, like southern Iraq along the Tigris and Euphrates.
Right. And even under Islamic rule, although they faced challenges, they got this kind of recognition as a people of the book, didn't they?
Yep, exactly. Muslim geographers even identified them as the Sabians, which gave them a modicum of protection, though they still endured persecution, forced conversions, and even massacres over the centuries.
That's rough. It's sobering to think about how a tradition so rich and ancient has dwindled over time. Fewer than 5,000 Mandaeans remain today, scattered in diaspora communities across Australia, Sweden, Germany, and the US.
Right. It's really a testament to their resilience that despite being constantly pushed to the margins, they've never abandoned their core ritualistic practices or their sacred texts.
Yeah, incredible indeed. Now, I do have a small point of contention here. While it's fascinating to see John the Baptist elevated to such a role, some might argue, is it an oversimplification to just label them as followers of John? Aren't there layers to their belief system beyond just a reversal of the Christian narrative?
That's a fair challenge. I mean, yes, it's a bold reinterpretation to say that John is, the central prophetic figure. But honestly, their entire religious framework is meditated on his teachings. It's not just an inversion for the sake of being contrarian. They see his message as a pure wisdom, untouched by later distortions.
I see your point. That makes sense. So it's not just about deifying him as a counter to Jesus, but about maintaining what they believe is an uncorrupted spiritual legacy.
Exactly. And that's why the preservation of their rituals and scriptures is so vital, not only as religious practices, but as a historical record that challenges mainstream narratives.
Yeah, for sure. Quite mind-blowing how the history of one figure can split into two dramatically different paths, right? One following the well-trodden road leading to Christianity, and another leading to a secret, almost lost tradition centered on John.
Absolutely. It really forces us to rethink that early first century as more of a crossroads than a linear progression. The very existence of the Mandaeans suggests that the story of John the Baptist, and by extension, early religious movements, was far more diverse than what we've been traditionally
Spot
told.
on. And what about the idea that Christianity as we know it is just one version of a much larger tapestry? It seems like the Mandaeans are living evidence of that alternative narrative.
Yes, it's almost revolutionary. They remind us that history isn't monolithic. It's filled with multiple, sometimes conflicting strands of belief.
Right, indeed.
Their persistence challenges the notion that one path necessarily extinguishes all others.
It's like discovering a hidden branch of a tree you thought was dead. I mean, their survival, despite centuries of persecution, is nothing short of miraculous, isn't it?
Exactly. And it highlights the human need to cling to traditions that speak to our core. In their case, adhering to the practice of baptism, the sacred texts, the dualistic worldview, all of it acts as a lifeline.
Totally. In wrapping up, it almost feels like the Mandaeans are a living relic, carrying an echo of a past that refuses to fade away, challenging mainstream narratives, and enriching our understanding of early religious history.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that there's always more to the story, and that even in the face of adversity, powerful ideas can survive
Yeah,
and
precisely.
even thrive against all odds.
This has been such an eye-opening discussion. Next time I hear about John the Baptist, I'm definitely going to think about the Mandaeans and this whole alternate path in history.
For sure. Thanks for joining in the conversation, and let's keep exploring these hidden chapters of our human past.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.